ceilings. And if the surface is glossy or slick, if I'm changing from a gloss surface to a matte surface or a flat surface, I'm going to want to prime it to get a more uniform finish. I got this from a home improvement website. 70% of paint failure is related to poor preparation. The peeling slide, that's on a wood substrate. And what's probably happening there, either the wood wasn't dry when it was put in place, or it was painted and there's somewhere that water or moisture is getting behind that wood, and then the moisture is trying to escape, so it's popping and peeling the paint away. Blistering can occur when paint is applied over a damp or a wet surface, and then it tries to dry, but there's still moisture underneath. Alligatoring, which is the lower left, that occurs when paint is applied in direct sunlight and the surface is too hot, and the people are trying to get the paint on, and the top is drying, but the bottom isn't, and it's baking, and you'll get that finish. And then chalking occurs in all paint over a period of time. It's usually more predominant in oil-based products. And what you're going to want to do with all of these, you're going to get the customers that want to get it done as quick and as fast as they can. But if they put the time and the effort into the prep work and get the paint peeled away and either do the spot prime or peel all the blisters off or crack away what they can with the alligatoring or with the chalking, they're going to want to wash the chalk off with a power washer, some light, mild detergent, let it dry, and then paint it. If they put the time into the prep work, they're going to be much better off and more satisfied with the results. One of the first presentations I ever saw about paint, I had a gentleman that said he had 5 qualifying questions for his painters, what they were painting. He said, if you could answer me this, is it smooth, dry, flat, dull, and sound? If you can tell me, is that smooth, is it dry, is it flat, is it dull, and it's sound, you're probably going to be more satisfied with the results. So you have to think about things real basic like that. And you've been in the department a couple of years. I don't know if you've had any crazy stories, but one of the craziest I ever had was a woman come in and tell me that she wanted to, I said, well, what are you painting? And she said, well, it's like this plastic vinyl texture, and let me go get her. I'm like, she's going to go get a person? What are we painting? And she brought back in a mannequin bust. And the Kills Original covers anything and sticks to anything. But you get people that are going to do all kinds of crazy stuff in that department. I don't know, you got any wild stories? Not yet? All right, we're ready to put our gloss on in our radiant red. Are those dry, or do you want to give them what we got? Okay.
Hard to stop.
Yeah. I was like, wait. Oh, should I turn towards you? Later, let's do the front.
Give me your own this time.
Now, we have an oil base here, so it's going to be a little odorous.
Okay, you're going to have to move down.
Who's got the can key?
I do in my pocket.
This is water, and we're going to put this there and there.
This is your water.
Hey, what are these boards?
Did you want to water or anything?
These are the boards that have been painted earlier in the day or the day before. And you've got your Kills Premium, Kills 2 Tinted,
I don't
Kills
have
2, Paint and Primer in 1, Paint and Primer in 1.
I had one. I don't have one.
Right. And here, I'll let you start. This is oil. You guys can go here and here. What's going to happen is it's going to show gloss retention.
You do.
I have a key in my pocket.
That's where they all go, in these pockets.
Brush.
Put it back in your pocket.
I had something.
Yeah, one every week.
Funny.
You can just paint this over these two. Right?
Brushes back there? Yes. They're in that gray bag right there.
Oh, you want them?
Yeah.
If you put it in the middle, maybe you can share it.
getting all technical now.
Oh,
So cover it up for yourself.
Here, and I'll let you two. You know what I'm going to do for you?
oh.
Really?
Go ahead.
You finally get it.
I just got it.
I'll let you do a paint primer in one.
Okay.
And you're going to paint. You're going to leave this one blank, but this one and that one. Yep.
Okay.
You want the lid or do you want the whole can?
Oh,
Thank you. I took that from someone. And I explained to them when you weren't here, Diana, that this is the worst possible applicator that we could be using for this because it's like a sponge,
Right.
and most people want to put it on so thick. Really, a nylon poly brush would be the best thing to have. That's what I think. Were these just done this morning? Yeah, those are actually in good shape. Oh, see, it's working good here. You can see the difference already. Because that's not tinted, you can see the white popping through in there. So there.
These were done yesterday.
So they're cured up.
Okay, are you supposed to take the can for me so I can...
All right. It was the assistant store manager that got a little concerned when I told him I was going to have open paint here. He's like, "Oh, you're going to cover everything up?"
oh. It trickled.
Yeah, see? We used to do this on 1 foot by 1 foot squares, and the people would put the paint on so thick that you wouldn't see this. But you can see it's going to need another coat. But up here, you'd probably need 2 more coats. We got the same thing going. Good job. Getting dizzy with the oil yet? Or not? Yeah. Yeah, we'll keep that one brush going for everybody too. I'll come back for it.
Okay.
And I'll let you do the oil next.
You don't find brush. Just
Here.
I don't
generate.
I just sell it.
And then this is where you're going to put this one. Yep.
You need more brushes?
This is going to be the oil. Yep. And you don't have paint and primer in one yet, right?
Why would you use oil on
This is really for a demonstration. So with the paint and primer in one,
Do you need another brush?
Yes, please.
I'm going to let her keep that there.
No,
Just for
we'll
what?
just trade brushes. This would have oil.
So you're going to paint and primer in one here and here, up the top.
Oh, not
No, because this is going to show one coat, and that's one coat over
yes.
paint and primer one. It's hard to tell because it's still drying. Put it on a little thick too. You know, I talk about thickness a lot.
Not
You
a
ever heard
professional
anybody-
painter.
Yeah.
Well, actually, the handouts that we have for you, they talk about how it's supposed to be applied and how thick it's supposed to be applied. And I don't know the primers, but for instance, with most of the Kills products, they say it's supposed to be put on wet 5.3 to 2.2 mils thick, and they make this thing called a mill gauge thickness, which is this. You've seen these, and painters will walk around with this. Usually the foreman. And they'll actually stick it in paint. And they'll see where it's hitting. So like right there, I picked that up on 7. So you're, I want to be down here probably. So the first one that hit, you're putting that on at about 5 mils thick, which is right where you're supposed to be. If that depends on the manufacturer. What I tell people is 5 mils is about 3 business cards thick. And then it's going to dry down to about half of that. So you're going to have about a 1.5 thickness of a business card of what the paint's going to dry down to. Most consumers will put the paint on too thin. They don't want to load the roller up. They think they're going to get splatters everywhere. I've seen it all the time where they'll try and work a 6 square foot area. So the point you made about putting oil over drywall, you traditionally wouldn't do it. But what you're going to see is the gloss retention. Now, when this starts to set up, you're going to see the fuzz happening here. And here you'll have more of a gloss because our Kills Premium is underneath that. It's going to make it have more gloss retention. It's going to have a better gloss. If I did that with a satin or a eggshell paint, it wouldn't be as pronounced as with the high gloss paint. That's why we use the oil there. And then you get the last one.
So, like on cabinets, when they put like high gloss on cabinets?
I wouldn't
I have a
use
blank.
a high gloss on oil base on cabinets. I'd probably use a latex high gloss or a
I
satin.
have that
Or
already, so like
Red?
can of red, yeah.
Well, they just write it on
So
here.
latex-based high gloss, so you put that on cabinets, so we can
Yeah.
use that.
yes, yes.
You can if you
Use the
want.
Kills
And it's
Premium.
gonna stick
And
to
then
it.
you gotta
Right.
just remember.
And
I want them right down both. I can do that on that board.
Oh my gosh, this looks stinks.
what I probably should, I don't think I spent enough time talking about. Okay, here's the premium, and then this is the two. Can you see a sheen difference in these two?
Yeah.
Yeah. This has about a 10% sheen, and that's when you're looking at it at an 85-degree angle, so I'm not looking at it right like this. I'm looking at it about 15 degrees off the side. So this is your, I'm sorry, this is 20, and that's 10%. So this has got a flatter finish.
You already have it here
But
and here, we're just putting
this
two
has a
coats
finish
on
that
and one coat.
I could go right back over it, and it's going to have a higher gloss. Or there are some painters that will sand between coats. They'll take their primer coat and put it down, then they'll sand it with a not a very high grit, maybe like a 220 sandpaper, to rough any high spots down and make it real smooth. And then I had a painter yesterday that I've never heard this before. He would mix some of his primer in with his enamel and then sand that down again and then put an enamel over the top. What they're looking for is the sprayed finish look with putting it down with a brush or a roller. But, I mean, 10 degrees difference is not that much. And you could go right over this and you'd probably have a smoother finish. So your analogy of using it for cabinets, this would probably be what you want with a cabinet because you've got a smooth surface, you've got more of a gloss here than this. So the premium obviously is what you want to use with the cabinets. No, the premium is water-based, right?